There has been a huge change in player evaluations after the combine ended. And because of that, we have some guys moving into the first round and we have some guys moving out of the first round. Let's do mock draft 3.0 to figure out what's changed. I really feel like the Carolina Panthers are going to make a move for a quarterback, and in this mock draft, I'm having them come up to number 1 overall, trading with the Chicago Bears to take CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud for a while now has been my quarterback 1 in this draft. You all have heard me say that, and after the combine, I think he has kind of settled into that position as well. In a division that is wide open in the NFC South, a quarterback like CJ Stroud could swing things in Carolina's favor. I've done a couple of different things with the Texans in my first 2 mock drafts, but I'm going back to Will Anderson at number 2 overall. A lot of Texans fans are saying, hey, we need a quarterback. You've got Davis Mills. He really isn't that bad. Is he a game changer? No. But why don't you get the best defensive player in this draft now that you have a former linebacker and defensive-minded head coach and help him help you stop teams from scoring? Plus, you'll see in a second why I think they can go this route at number 2. My Athletic Greens Foundation's building pick of the draft is going to be the Las Vegas Raiders trading up from 7 to 3 and taking Florida's Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson blew the roof off the combine, showing his dynamic playmaking and athleticism. He is a guy that can do so much for an offense. The same way my AG1 drink does so much for my health. It is a dynamic part of my day that only takes a few seconds to get ready every morning. And also, like my AG1 drink, Anthony Richardson is going to help build a great foundation for the Las Vegas Raiders. This is a guy that they can tailor their entire offense to, and if he turns out to play as well as he has tested, the sky will be the limit for this kid in that offense with his talent. Keep in mind, back in 2010, Josh McDaniels, who was the coach of the Denver Broncos, also spent a first-round pick on a dual-threat quarterback named Tim Tebow. Now, Anthony Richardson is above and beyond what Tim Tebow was coming out, but he showed us that he wants that type of a playmaker as his signal caller on his offense. So just like the Las Vegas Raiders, if you're ready to start building a great foundation for your health, use that link below down in the description of the video. Head on over to Athletic Greens, get signed up, order your AG1. You're going to get a free gift with it as well. And make sure you tell them the headliners sent you. After some new information came to light during the combine, I don't think the Indianapolis Colts are going to trade up. That's who I had moving up in my first 2 mocks. I think now they stay put. And at number 4, they're going to get a gift because Bryce Young is going to fall into their lap and become their next quarterback. Yeah, people are a little bit worried about Bryce Young's size, and I get it and I understand, but there's been smaller quarterbacks who have been very successful at the NFL level. Take Drew Brees, for instance. He was never a guy that was thought to be a high-profile player, and look what he did in New Orleans. Bryce Young has all the intangibles, and he has the gift. The only gift he wasn't given was height. If that was 2 or 3 inches more, this would be a guy that would be locked in as the number 1 overall pick, and y'all can't tell me any different. The Seattle Seahawks are also going to get a gift, as Jalen Carter will fall to them at number 5. Now, one note that I need to make with this pick, I don't know how the legal process is going to play out with Jalen Carter. He has said that he had nothing to do with the accident that killed a teammate and a former staffer. And because of that, I am going to err on the side of caution and not try to overreact to anything right now. If he's guilty, he'll be found guilty. But in my mock drafts, I'm going to move forward as of yes, he might take a little bit of a hit in value as teams might be worried about it, but falling to number 5 in Seattle, I don't see how they could pass him up. The Lions taking Bryan Bresee out of Clemson is the dream scenario for me at number 6 overall. I have absolutely fallen in love with Bresee, and a lot of people are going to look at some of the injuries and things that he has had while at Clemson, and I'm looking past it. Yes, he had an ACL tear, but the injuries that they're talking about last year with some sicknesses. He got sick and it just took him a while to get healthy. That's not something I'm going to contribute to an injury profile. This guy could absolutely dominate the interior defensive line, and with Aiden Hutchinson on one side and James Houston still there, this could be a really good fit. New mock, new landing spot for Bijan Robinson, and I'm going to draft him to the Atlanta Falcons. While we were meeting with the running backs at the Combine and listening to their interviews, there was one team that continued to pop up in terms of speaking to as many running backs as possible, and that's the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, they have Tyler Algier, and a lot of people are excited for him because he had a great end to the 2022 season. But they love to run the football. They want to establish the run, and a guy like Bijan, I don't know if you can pass him up if he's sitting here at number 8. The reason I went Will Anderson at number 2 is because I think Will Levis is going to fall in this draft, and in my mock here, the Texans are going to take advantage of that. If you're a member here, you saw my video breakdown of Will Levis, and you heard about all of my concerns, and when I went to the Combine, my hope is that he would have worked on those things, and unfortunately, he hasn't. When he throws, he's all arm, he's all upper body. He doesn't use his lower half or his core. And because of that, his game arm is a lot smaller than what his practice arm is. The dude can absolutely sling it, but if he doesn't work on his footwork, stepping up in the pocket, and using that lower half to get the ball down the field, like you see in the film breakdown I did, he is going to constantly underthrow his wide receivers. Nolan Smith, a guy who's 40, got people talking at the Combine, is going to go to the New York Jets here. I think he'd be a great fit for New York because Nolan is going to end up being a guy that's going to be kind of an edge linebacker hybrid. He's not really big enough and tall enough and strong enough to play on the outside as an edge rusher, but on the outside playing off the ball as a linebacker, the dude with his speed could be deadly, tracking down running backs and slot wide receivers all over the place. It would also allow him to play in coverage if needed. I think that would be a great fit for what the New York Jets need on defense. At 17 overall, a fast riser at the Combine, Calijah Cancey from Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh guy stays home and plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Calijah Cancey, after going through the Combine and testing well in almost every single area, was compared to another former Pittsburgh great, Aaron Donald. Cancey's a little bit undersized, but the motor, the explosiveness, the tenacity, everything that you need from a defensive tackle, he has. If you look at all the numbers, he's basically an Aaron Donald clone. I don't know why, but I believe that the Los Angeles Chargers are going to focus on offense, and they're going to go with Jackson Smith-Njigba out of Ohio State. Maybe it's just me wanting to see JSN play in this dynamic offense, but he is my wide receiver 1 in this draft. I don't think there's really anything that is going to change my mind about that, and for him to play in the slot with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams on the outside would be a huge addition for Justin Herbert. The New York Giants re-signed their quarterback, they've tagged their running back, they've released a wide receiver, and they still don't have a whole lot of weapons outside of Barkley. So, let's get him one. Jordan Addison, a guy that is a wide receiver 1 for a lot of people in this draft, I think goes to the New York Giants. Now for me, Jordan Addison, he's undersized and he's not as fast as you would like for a guy his size, but this is another guy that I think in the slot would play very well. So if we can get another guy on the outside for Daniel Jones, a bigger, taller wide receiver, maybe like an Allen Lazard in free agency, then put Jordan Addison in the slot, that would be a huge weapon because keep in mind, Sterling Shepard, who played in the slot last year prior to his injury, was dominating with Daniel Jones to start the year. The New Orleans Saints got their quarterback. Now they need some more help on the defense. And Tyree Wilson is a guy that I have slipping down draft boards a little bit, but still in the first round. He didn't test as well as I would like, but it wasn't enough for me to take him out of the first round. But I do think that he gets overlooked by some of the faster, stronger guys that tested better at the Combine. And for the Saints, honestly, that might not be a bad thing because they could get a gift a little bit later in the first that they really need to create pressure on defense. The Kansas City Chiefs have allowed both of their offensive tackles to test free agency, so getting DeJuan Jones at number 32 is a great fit for them. DeJuan Jones has fallen down my board just a little bit. He was a guy that I thought could compete for the offensive tackle number 1 in this draft. He is a huge human being, over 300 pounds, 6'8". He's got the reach, he's got the strength, he's got everything you want at the offensive tackle position. Yeah, a couple of other guys may have tested a little bit better, but he would be the perfect fit for right tackle, and then maybe they could bring Orlando Brown back or work something else out to get somebody else to play on the other side. I didn't talk about every pick because nobody watches 30, 35, 40-minute videos on YouTube anymore. So if you want more information, become a member where we do tons of rookie breakdowns. For now though, hit that like button for me. In the comments, let me know if there's somebody in the draft that you think deserves to be in the first round that was not here. And then if you're new to this channel, you gotta hit that subscribe button down below and become a part of Headliner Nation. Peace out, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see y'all on the next video.